Welcome to the Kentucky Public Pensions Authority presentation on getting started in employer self-service, presented by the Employer Reporting, Compliance, and Education Division. To access the Employer Self-Service website, or ESS, the employer administrator must set up the agency's ESS users. If your agency does not have an employer administrator for ESS, then you should contact the ERCE division for assistance. Their contact information is provided at the end of this training video. After your administrator adds an ESS user, the system generates 3 credential emails providing access to the website. To view these emails, the employer representative must have an account set up under the KPPA Secure Email Portal. For more information on the Secure Email Portal, the user guide and additional training videos can be found under the Employer section of the KPPA General website. The 3 secure emails received contain the ESS user ID, the temporary password, and the temporary PIN code. The temporary password and PIN code provided in these emails are valid for 24 hours, so the employer representative must log into ESS within this period to complete the setup of their account. To access ESS at this point of the initial setup, you may click the myretirement.ky.gov link found on the email. When a user accesses the self-service website from the link on the email or by entering the web address, they will initially be directed to the Member Self-Service login by default. Please click the Employer Login Here link to begin the login process as an employer representative. Here, the user enters the user ID created by their employer administrator and the temporary password sent via email. Upon login, the user will immediately be directed to update their credentials, beginning with the password. Enter the temporary password that was sent via email as the current password. Then, following the requirements, create a new ESS password. The user will need to then re-enter the same password for verification. Following the verification entry, click the Continue button to move to the next step in the setup process. The PIN code is the next credential that needs to be created. The PIN code acts as the user's electronic signature and is requested for many processes within ESS. To create this credential, enter the code sent via the secure email portal as the current PIN. Then create a new 4-digit numerical PIN code and re-enter it for verification purposes. Once the user completes the verification entry of the PIN code, click the Continue to Step 3 button. The final step is to establish a security question. First, select a question from the drop-down list provided. Then, provide an answer to the question selected. Once again, the user will need to retype the answer for verification. After entering the answer to the security question twice, click the Update button. This will complete the setup of the ESS user credentials. The user will receive a confirmation that the system has saved their newly created password, PIN code, and security question. By clicking the Continue button, they will be directed to the ESS homepage and have access to the many modules contained within ESS. In today's world, everything requires unique credentials, so it's easy to forget them. KPPA staff does not have access to a user's ESS credentials. So if a user forgets their ESS login credentials after the initial setup is complete, they can retrieve or reset those credentials themselves. First, log into Employer Self-Service through the web address or from the general KPPA website. Once on the employer login screen, below the login button are 2 links to assist you with your forgotten credentials. If the user clicks the Forgot User ID link, they will be directed to a screen requesting their 4- or 5-digit employer code and email address. If the user does not know their employer code, they may contact their ERCE representative for that information. Once the employer code and email address is entered, click the Next button. The following screen will ask for the answer to your security question. Complete this information and click the Next button to navigate to a screen that contains your user ID. Then click the link to return to the login page and enter the user ID that was provided. To reset a password, click the Forgot Password link. The user will be directed to a screen requesting their ESS user ID. Enter the required information and click the Next button to be navigated to a screen requesting the user's employer PIN code for authorization. Once completed, click Next and the website will open a page to allow the user to reset the password. The user must follow the password creation requirements for it to be valid and must re-enter it correctly for verification. Once they have entered the password twice, click the Next button to complete the reset. If the password was successfully updated, a confirmation notice that contains a link to return the user to the login page will appear. Thank you for viewing the Getting Started in ESS training video. If you have any questions, please contact your ERCE representative Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.